Good afternoon. This afternoon we're going to look at the Pythagorean Theorem case where you have two legs of your triangle. So let's look at our triangle. We have a triangle like this. And to use the Pythagorean Theorem, you have to have a 90-degree angle in the corner. And if I know that this side is 3 long and that this side is 4, and I want to know the hypotenuse, that's the longest side of your triangle, this is what you're going to do. I look at a squared plus b squared equals to c squared. Now a squared is taking into account the length of the leg, and the leg is always attached with the 90-degree angle. And we're going to take the other leg, square it, and make it equal to the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the longest side of your triangle. So we're taking the hypotenuse and squaring it. So if we look at our triangle, one of the legs is 3 long. So I'm going to take 3 and square it. And now we're going to add the other leg, 4, and square it. We don't know what the hypotenuse is. They gave us c, so we're going to call it c. So if I take 3 squared, that's going to give me 9. If I take 4 squared, that gives me 16. And that's equal to c squared. Now 9 plus 16 is going to give me 25, equal to c squared. Now I need to find the square root of c squared, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Now the square root of 25 is 5. So our value for c is 5. Now it could have been plus or minus, but here we're dealing with a distance, so we know that it couldn't be the minus for this particular question. Let's look at another example. If we have a triangle where, again, we have a 90-degree angle. This is 12 long, and this is 16 long, and we don't know how long that side is. Remember, it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So if I look at my legs, the leg here is 12. I'm going to square that. The leg here is 16. We're going to square that. And equal to c squared. So if I take 12 squared, that's going to give me 144. If I take 16 squared, it's going to give me 236. Or no, 256. So if I add those together, 144 plus 256, that's going to give me 400. Equal to c squared. Now I need to find the square root, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Remember, when you take the square root, you could get a positive and negative 20, but because we're dealing with the distance, we're only going to have the value of 20 as a viable answer. So in this particular picture, the triangle hypotenuse length would be 20 long. Let's look at another example. Here, if I deal with the triangle where I have triangle, that side's 1 and that side's 3, and we don't know how long the hypotenuse is. Again, we're going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And if we take a squared, we're going to get 1 squared plus 3 squared equals to c squared. So 1 plus 9 equals c squared. So that's going to give us 10. If I take the square root of 10, use your calculator, plug that in, and you'll get 3.16 something. But in most of these questions, they're asking for the answer rounded to the nearest tenth. So we're going to get 3.2 for our value of c. Let's look at one more example. If I have a 90-degree angle here, and I have 2 for that side, 6 for this side, and I don't know how long that side is. Again, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I'm taking 2 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared. That's going to give me 4 plus 36 equal c squared. So if I add those together, you're going to get 40. Now if you use your calculator, you find the square root of 40. It's going to give you approximately 6.3. So these are examples using triangles with a right angle that have two legs given to figure out the third leg. We're using the Pythagorean theorem. Have a great day. Bye-bye.